everyone. Good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, depends where you are. My name is Keti Tsatsalashvili. I am a women grandmaster from Georgia, and it's my honor to host first Title Tuesday in 2022. The games will start in about 2 minutes, but I would like to send a warm greetings and hello to everyone to our Twitch and YouTube channel. I hope today is going to be a good day for everyone and we're going to see a lot of exciting chess. Let me go very quickly with the format before we start to talk about the players who have already registered. So we're going to have 11 rounds. The tournament is going to be a Swiss system. This happens every Tuesday at 10 a.m. PTD time and 7 p.m. Central European time. The time control is only 3 minutes with 1 second increment, and then the tiebreaks is based on Chesscom tiebreaks. So now let's take a look at the prize and check out what they are playing for. The winner will get $750. The second place will get $400. Third place will get $150. And then we have the $100 for fourth place, best female player, and best streamer. So those are the prize fund. And very quickly, let's take a look at the standings. Hikaru is playing from the hotel from Warsaw. He's quarantined now. He still has some more days to stay at the hotel. Then we can see that Um Nepomniacci is hungry to play more chess. Then we have Rasmus Vane and many more players have already registered. The games will start in a few seconds. So, they already started. Let me very quickly fix the board and I'll go to the games. For now, we can see the game of Hikaru Nakamura. All right, I think this is better looking. You guys cannot see the time. Let me also fix the time here. All right, better. So we're gonna start to take a look at Hikaru's games, of course, as well as other players, but he is right now quarantined in the hotel and he's playing from the hotel room. Let's test how good is Polish internet at the hotels. He's going with a different setup. He usually likes to go with b3 and g3, but he goes now with a Slav defense. This looks quite theoretical line. And let's see, a3 has been played. White wants to sub c5 pawn. Usually we go with a4, but now Hikaru has something else in his mind. Maybe he wants to push b4, and there he goes. He's going with b4, and a5 is the most precise response here. Otherwise, white is going to block this knight d2, knight b3, and c5 pawn would be there forever. So here we have c5. Black managed to open up the light square bishop. This is black's issue in the most of the lines in Slav defense. So here we have c5. And bishop e7. Black is also in hurry to develop the king side in castle really quickly. So I expect now b4 or maybe even c4, just because b5 pawn is hanging and white is attacking those pawn with 2 ways. All right, bishop a6 was played, and now d takes c5. So we do have here a weakness for black, and white is just pressing. Knight d4. I like this move, and it also avoids rook b8 because knight jumps on c6 and wins an exchange. So it's going to be a blunder. Black has to come up with a very strong move right now. Black is thinking, losing some time. I don't see the move here, how black will save the b5 pawn. Maybe black has to give up and just castle and try to play. Now knight c6 is on the board, and after so much of thinking, he still went for rook b8. There was a bit of surprise. But here we have the position with extra exchange. Should be not a problem here for whites to just to win. Okay, so now knights are off the board. B5 pawn is still hanging. Something went really, really bad here for black from the very beginning. B5 pawn was always hanging. So if you are a Slav defender, you play Slav defense, always watch out for this kind of attack on the queen side. And now white seems to be simply winning. B-pawn itself is just like pinned in many ways. The bishop is also pinned. Now A, B can be happen on the board. Black might try this kind of setup here to threaten some checkmate, but it's not something that white should be really worried about. Black is keeping two bishops into the game. Black will play those moves and create some threats. So here white is thinking, as you can see on the bar, it's big advantage. Black goes to trade at least one pair of bishop, which just decrease the chances for black to survive. Queen g5, yeah, it goes right away for g2 pawn. F3 now saves the game. I think it was only F3 move which was saving the game, but it's there and it's quite good. So bishops are off the board. E3 pawn now is hanging. It's safe to push e4 now, just to make sure that nothing happens on this diagonal. But here white goes, in fact, rook on the third rank to guard e3 pawn. And black is trying to do everything on the king side. I'm afraid it's a bit too late to try. So guys, I now chat. What do you think? Who will win today, this Title Tuesday? This is the very first Title Tuesday for this year. I'm sure there will be a lot of Title Tuesday through the year, like always. And let me know who's your favorite. Well, Queen d2. And then what? The question is why to continue to watch that game. That's a good point. I think here white has nothing to worry. We might go to the next game. Let me very quickly choose another game. This sounds looks really good and really exciting. So with white pieces we have Bortnik, another very strong online player, and with black pieces we have a women grandmaster, Tsukus, who is also very, very strong Hungarian player, woman grandmaster, and who also plays a lot of Title Tuesdays. So for now, what we have a king, not castled yet. 5 seconds for Bortnik. Wow, something is not right here for white. Although the position looks really good. White sacrificed a piece. As I can count, there are only 3 pieces on the board for white, and for black there are 4. So there is a good compensation here for white. Queen goes on e5, there's a check, bishop c5, beautiful move. Rook d6? What is that? Rook d6 looks really scary move. I don't know, rook f6. All right, there was a pin, there was a very smart move. 5 seconds was on the board and white managed to win a queen. This should not be really hard here for white to convert. So meanwhile, I'll just look the next interesting game. What we have, this is, yeah, here we have a checkmate. Another beautiful checkmate just happened. Parham won the game with black pieces with this beautiful checkmate. Still several games in progress. We have queen endgame, and this looks interesting. I wanted to say, but white just timed out. Yeah, let's go for queen endgame. Rasmus Van against Lukas Tomilo. Queens are off the board, and this is losing. The queen d5 was such a horrible check here. The lost was, yeah, okay, it was also a very bad position. So Wonderful Time starts with 0 this tournament, but usually we have seen him coming back at the top boards. So this game has been ended as well. Let me check really quickly if we have something else still happening. We do have more games. chess queen is playing. So let's take a look at chess queen's game. Alexander Kostyuk just became a world rapid champion, and we were talking with the chess players and also at the commentary that those players who are very active in online chess, who play a lot of online chess, they are quite sharp and quite good over the board chess as well. So here we have Alexandra ending this game not so well, but this is just the start of the tournament, and we're gonna have overall 18 rounds. That's quite a lot of rounds. Anything might happen. All right, let's go to the next game. What we have here. Alexander Moskalenko from Russia against women candidate master who is 2400 from China. And here we have very interesting Rook game. This bar says that this is winning for white, and here's the way how white wins a Rook. Yeah, white wins a Rook, and there is no point to continue the game, so we have a resignation. This game has been ended with black's victory. Okay, last game. This is the last game. So white has an exchange, and when there are 2 pawns, usually this is really good. But white is just going to make a draw. White is not really pushing too much because those are the corner pawns, and they are not easy to push. And now black will try a little bit to get b3 pawn and then to try Rook versus knight. It's still a draw, but this is really tricky time control. Anything can happen. 22 seconds versus 20 seconds. That's a lot of time for this position. Should not be any blunder or any dramatic thing. So the knight on a4 is really nice piece. It controls very important squares. Now after b4, black starts to hold the position. White lost b pawn. That's not something that white's predicted or planned. And now white has to keep knight and the king together. They are just in the edge of the board. It's not so good for white, but still the position is very drawish. Should not be any tricks unless there are some blunders. All right, this game might last another 50 minutes after they captured the b4 pawn. So we just keep watching this one before the start of the second game. Second game will start right away. They are just waiting for last game to end, and this is the last game. Once again, while white is pushed to be on the back rank, the game is still draw. Unless something unexpected happens. All right, the bar is dropped now. Oh, bar is dropped right now. It's still losing, so the knight is sort of trapped really far. And now maybe black will just come closer to the knight. And knight is so much pushed. Oh no, this might end really bad for white. And white is trying to get closer to the knight. All right, this is already drawish again. Knight is saved. There was a chance to win. There was a chance to win, but black had no time. Black had no time to use this one. 171 moves. The game is still on. White's king is safe now. Nothing can happen. Yeah. Nothing can happen. I will very quickly take a look when the pawn was captured. I don't really need it. The game ended on 180 moves. So this was the last game. It ended not so dramatically, so it was a peaceful draw. We're going to the next game. The next game we can stuck with Nepomniacci. Let's see how he's playing. He's playing against FIDE Master from Ukraine, Seman 16. And we have what? We have a King's Gambit. Wow, King's Gambit. That's going to be really sharp. I don't know if our chat knows about King's Gambit, but it's quite sharp opening. And not many players are playing nowadays, but as I know, it's quite useful for the online chess and for blitz chess. So the king now is pinned. White has very good play. White has open files and the diagonals, and we might see some strange things happen here for two black. Let's see now. White king should castle, and white is going to castle on the long side. There is so much speculations about Nepomniacci to play after the match or not to play, and he's playing every possible tournament. He played World Draft Blitz really nicely, and he is now playing also online chess. So it might be a motivation for him, this World Championship match, and actually it works the other way for him, like no one really expected. So what do we have here is white castle on the long side. For now, there is nothing really that white got after all, but still the game is on. Black just pushed d5. Black wants to open up e file, and white is also trying. White, on the other hand, tries to control the queen side in the center. So c5, d5, or d5 first looks really tempting. White goes with bishop b4 first. The rook is hanging, and now after rook goes away, let's see what white plays. White plays bishop c5, just close the c4 defense c4 pawn in this way, and d5 now is still a threat. Yeah, I've not seen much of the games at this level when higher rated grandmasters are playing King's Indian, but this is online chess, and probably that's the preparation that Nepomniacci has. So let's see. But me personally, I really expected some fireworks after the King's Gambit. Oh, we did not really see that. We might see some outplay in the end game, but we passed that moment to see the fireworks. So bishop a3 was played. White is preparing c5, and the pawn is pushed. Here white has advantage, quite big advantage, because of these pawns. They are looking really good and really scary. We have here this pin. Black has to be careful. Black just goes away now with the king, and there was a knight d6, was a move that white also missed. Knight d6 was winning a material exchange. Yeah, there was an exchange. But well. And actually white has 2 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. They're playing so fast. They are playing really, really fast. Now white just got the rook on c file. At some point I expect here to see this pawn going forward. Maybe even this pawn will go forward. And queen e2. White wants to trade the queens. Why not? To go to the end game. Let me fix really quickly something here. Yeah, I think this looks better. Okay, so queen f5 and d6. This is a blunder. This is a blunder. Black did not see what was the blunder. d6 pawn was hanging. This was a blunder. Black could take this pawn. It was hanging 2 ways, and in the end the rook was hanging on c2. So we do have d6, and then c6 happened, and white decided to capture a6 pawn. The computer evaluation bar is on the black side now. Queen b6 is not very good move. We might see some upset here in this round. Rook f8. Yeah, from this perspective, I don't know why the computer gives black so much advantage. Seems like white is very active and black doesn't really have any time to realize that this is not so bad position and black can really try even to win. So what I see is a back rank problem for white. Maybe black should try to attack these rooks to win some tempo. This is so bad move. E2 is on the board. This is hanging. Oh, bishop a7, bishop a7, bishop a7. This rook is hanging and this rook is hanging. We have bishop a7. Oh no, we might see some dramatic end of this round. 28 seconds against 1 minute. Time is really tricky here for black. This pawn is very strong and now black has to find something really fast, something that wins right away. Not so easy as white still holds the position. This bishop is quite strong and the pawn is quite strong. So what black is doing right now is black is blocking the pawn, and black is trying to put the pieces on the light square so there will be not some blunder. Draw. There will be a draw. Seems like black has a huge advantage. Now white doesn't want to make a draw, and white makes moves really fast. D7 was played. Black has to make a move. Maybe just keep the rook on the 8th rank. Yeah, that was not so good move. Queen c2 is a blunder. Queen c2 is a blunder. Yeah, the game is switching from winning to losing in a second. Rook is... Oh no, this rook... Rooks are so much ignored in this game. And then just take on e2, that's it, and white has an extra bishop. Well, black played a really beautiful game, but yeah, it was not enough. It was not really enough. There is a game in progress. Let's take a look. Here we have Hikaru with black pieces against Maze. And Hikaru is down to 1 pawn, but white is really active, and white is about to queen, and there is no way to stop that queen coming on b8. And here we have a resignation. So this is the surprise that we were looking for. The other surprise that we were so focused did not really ended in a way. So here Alexander Borning is winning 3 pawns extra, and rook, this is quite easy win. You just push the pawns together, you guard the pawns, and that's it. You just need to get the king on the back rank and then try to create a checkmate. So that's it. So this game has been ended. Let me check if we have some other games in progress. We have plenty of games in progress. We'll take a look. The one which looks familiar to us. Okay, let's go to here. Opposite color bishop is going to be a draw. And here black has an extra queen, so and the same color bishop, so this should not be a problem at all. And queen versus a rook, and we just came at the moment when white just checkmated. Yeah, some people find the rook and the queen endgame, rook versus queen or queen versus rook endgame, quite tough, but it's not so tough when you play the actual game. So let's go here. This ended in a victory of black. Black is about to queen. How about this game? Here white has a lot of extra pieces. And this game will end in a draw. So yeah, that was the end of the round 2. Round 3 gonna start in a second. So we're waiting the next round to start, and here we have the next round. And this is Timur Caryev against Um Nepomniacci. So two very interesting players are playing in this round. We're gonna be focused on this one. E4, E5 was played. I'm sure many of you know Timur Caryev. He's the guy who flies from the helicopter to play with a chessboard, and he goes king's in the King's Gambit now. Wow, King's Gambit is a thing today. So in the previous round, Nepomniacci played himself King's Gambit, and now Timur goes with the King's Gambit. So if you're an E4 player, go for King's Gambit. It seems to be a thing for blades. So what do we have here is a really symmetrical position. Like everything looks so similar. Bishop g2, bishop g7 will be a similar thing. Then castles, no. Actually, White decided to change this symmetry and captured the pawn on e5. Quite open position for both sides. Let's say another pawn was captured. Timur is a dynamic person and the player. That is true. So here we have a pin. Black just tries to go away from the pin. We have here a hanging pawns. It's always a matter of the taste if you like to play with hanging pawns or to play against hanging pawns. Well, the one thing that both sides should remember is that when you play against hanging pawns, it's always good to attack them and force the opponent to push this pawn forward. So knight g4 looks a very nice move. Now rook is open and guards this pawn. h3, and the knight goes on h6 really, really fast. So black is not having really fun time now with the knight in the edge of the board. But there is other things now on the queen side that black will try to take all the attention of white on this side. But knight d5, I like this move, knight d5, and as you can see, now white can already win something big. It can be c3 to kick the knight. It can be the knight's move itself, or maybe even knight f6 and then to take here. What else can be played? There should be some tactics connected with c3, bishop h6, and then to take here. And in the end, there's knight e7. This is maybe too much to calculate, but there was some tactical blow here that very likely white missed. So rook f2 was played to guard c2 pawn and bishop e6. Now once again, white is attacking the pawn. So black just pushes that pawn and it's not hanging. It's not hanging. It's not hanging. However, yeah. White is just having way better pieces. So bishop captures the knight. If you take the knight, white will simply go back with the bishop. If you take this bishop, then the king will be really alone here and weak. So yeah, black just takes the knight, and I really expect here this move to happen really soon. So white won a pawn after all, and another pawn on b7 is also hanging. Rook comes on f8. The bishop has to move maybe back on e3. No, bishop captures the knight. That's actually smart because this pawn on c2 was hanging and now this knight doesn't really exist anymore. And bishop e4, h7 pawn is hanging. If you push the pawn, we might see these moves here. Queen g6. Knight g6 was played. Yeah, and the computer is not so sure about that move. I would play queen g6 there to create a checkmate. And now c3. What you guys think in the chat? Can Nepomniacci save this game? and I will take a look really quickly if something exciting happens in another game. Yeah, there is something that we have to take a look really fast. So let's get in here. So here we have Parham with black pieces. Let me try to flip the board. Looks like white has a pawn on a7, really strong pawn. But black is standing so strong here. Black controls everything, and also pushes the pawn. So, yeah, seems like white could not find the most proper way how to improve the position. The moment I checked, it was winning for white, but now the time, yeah, time is something that might play a big role here for seconds for white. So white probably played something really fast and missed a chance to win right away. So black just captured a7 pawn, and now after some trades that's gonna happen on a file, yeah, black will just win because there's an extra 2 pawns. We had a resignation over here. Oh, this game ended badly for Caryev. So here we had this one, and white resigned because there's no way to avoid the checkmate. So this game was really nice. All right, let's take a look at this one. Seems also crazy game. Seems like some sacrifices here. And Machanik is number 4 by the rating, 3000 player from Russia. He's not having fun time at this game. Oh, there is a blunder. There is a horrible blunder. Rook just captures a bishop now, and there will be check maybe on h8. Another check, queen e6, queen e8. And this is a miracle. This is a miracle. Yeah, the game has been ended over here. There was horrible blunder we witnessed. So this position, maybe black will now take. Huh? What's going on? That was really strange. That was really strange. Okay, black tried to push the pawn. That was a strange thing, right? Wonderful time. He did it? Okay. I really expected to capture and to play this game, but wow. So he wanted to take and then push the pawn, but knight is also here to guard. So this game has also ended. And what can we look? Maybe this game? Kacparev, the international master from Poland. Yeah, I know him. His name is Kacper, and Kacparev. He won the game. So let's go to the next one. The last one. Tsukos with black pieces. We have seen her game already. Oh, what was that? And this is losing. This is losing, and I can't believe that happened with extra queen. No, before the start of next round, let's quickly take a look what happened over here. It was just a blunder. White wanted to bring the king as close as possible, and we had this blunder. All right, what is the game we're gonna be focused right now? Let me check the leaders. Grishchuk is here. We're going to take a look at the Grishchuk's game. Let me very quickly follow him. And we're going to check Grishchuk's game. He's playing against a grandmaster from Ukraine. And for this is round 4. I thought I missed I thought I missed the break. So this is the round 4. After this round we're gonna have the break, and for now we do have only 3 players with 100. No, that's not right. That's not right. Okay, there are plenty of players. There are plenty of players with 100% score. I just got a bit confused. All right, so, and among them are Grishuk. So, and yeah, there are lots of people with 3 points. So let's focus on this game. Black to move, and black has to develop the king side as fast as possible and castle. And Grishuk here is thinking. In over the board game in classical chess, he likes to think a lot, and just bring the time down to seconds. Let's see how he managed the online chess. Rooks are off the board. Next will be knight f6, and black is ready to castle. Not so fast. If black castles, then knight comes on e5, and the bishop here is hanging. So this might happen. This might happen here. And Grishuk is thinking. He's down to 1, like the difference on time is 1 minute. I'm not surprised. I'm not really surprised. If you know Grishuk, how he plays, he actually likes to bring the time down to seconds and then try to play really fast. So he's avoiding 95, bishop on e7 will be hanging. So how he could play? He can play something like, no, this is not possible to attack here because this is hanging. Maybe some waiting move, but I'm not sure about waiting move. White will use this tempo. Not so easy, not so easy. He has all the rights to think. Maybe just ignore that and castle. d5 was played. I'm not sure about this move. Takes and the king in the center. Then if white takes this e4, but queen can go back and the king is in the center, so black is not winning any material. Black is not going to castle in this game for sure. All right, I understand. If black now black wants to take on e4. Now black wants to take that pawn and then take this knight. That was really nice idea. I like it now. So how white should play? White can play queen e2 and queen e5. How about queen e2 here? And after e takes f3, queen e5. Yeah. Queen d6. Queen d6 looks okay for black. This position, opposite color bishops. And ruin pawn structure on the king side, that looks quite promising for black. Now what he will try to push this pawn and just activate the king. For now the knight is hanging. Maybe yeah, black has to make a decision to give up this pawn or to give up that pawn, or black is losing actually both of them. It's just up to white which one to capture. Yeah, not. Oh, that's my move. That's my move. He did not play that one. Bishop e6 was played, yeah. Bishop e6 was played. Now knight b5 makes sense because there's gonna be a threat to take this bishop here. Knight captures. Bishop can also capture this pawn, but that allows black to castle. So my suggestion would be knight captures the pawn and just to bring another piece into the game. Black needs to bring the rook into the game, absolutely. So for this reason, it's quite smart to keep the bishop on this diagonal. And now finally, king moved away, and now rook is free to move out. Maybe right now rook c8. There we go. If bishop captures this pawn, then Black is winning a piece. So white is going for the straight. Knight before loses a pawn, and this seems quite drawish. Yeah, I think white just missed the chances here. White had really good chance. With only one extra pawn, with this pawn structure, that's not too much of hope here for a win. Let's see how this, maybe we can go forward and take a look at the other game. Checking it really quickly. This is gonna end in a draw. There should not be any crazy things happening. So let's go to see this one. So Hikaru is trying to win this game, as there are a lot of pawns. There is a back rank issue here for whites. There might be some checkmates on the back rank. Now e4 pawn is hanging, so e pawn is hanging, so e4. Rook f2 wins a piece. Yeah, he goes for it. Queen g4. Yeah, this is just winning position. All right, here we had a resignation. Another game which looks quite interesting is this one. Looks very messy. White has a lot of pawns, but there is the opposite color bishops, and the pawn on g file looks really strong. So now g pawn is gone, and Rook goes on to hunt h7 pawn. This seems winning. This seems winning. White will capture first this pawn. White will come back and attack this pawn, and yeah, that's gonna be white's big advantage. Hikaru lost second round, as I remember. So Hikaru lost the second round, and I don't remember who was the opponent. Yeah, I don't remember who was that one. Okay, this game has been ended. Here I see all the results are done. Let me check if we have something going on. We do have this game also ended. Rook endgame. Black just pushed g2, and white lost on time. Another game also ended. Black won in here. I think that was a Padmini from India. All right, let's take a look at that one. White has an extra piece and the passed pawn. This looks very, very much losing for black. What about this one? Rook endgame. Rook endgame. This rook endgame is a draw. Even though the black's king is so passive, it's gonna be a draw. So maybe now rook g4 to attack this, and just king h6. Yeah, that's it. There. What? Why? Why this happened? I just wanted the only way to lose the game is to go to pawn endgame. That was so bad. There are pawn endgames with one pawn less draw, but when king is placed in the center and you have opposition, but this one, no, it's not drawish. And two bishops. Very well demonstrated by Irina Bulmaga, how to checkmate with two bishops. All right, guys, in the chat, do you know how to checkmate with a two bishop? It's quite tricky. It can be quite tricky for for some people. Another 2 bishops here, but this ended in a draw because white has it. All right. This game, yeah, this game has been, and I think that's it. That's the round 4. Just end it. Yeah, well, the rook, 2 bishops, bishop and the knight, and some other theoretical positions are very interesting and also very good to know. So I'm gonna take right now the break, and I'll come back in a few minutes. Please don't go anywhere, because this break will go really, really fast. So see you soon. Welcome back, everyone. This is Title Tuesday, the first Title Tuesday for 2022. I am Keti Tsatsalashvili, woman grandmaster from Georgia, and we do have the second part of the event. The fourth round has been passed already, and the next round just started. And we do have Jeffrey against Sergey Shigalko. So that's going to be the game. We'll be focused and then we can go to the other game. And very quickly, let's take a look who are those players with 4 out of 4. And there are 22 players. There are a lot of players. And I forgot to tell that in total, we do have 552 players. Wow, I think everyone just wanted to play, and they are here. They missed to play chess. So the question to our chat on Twitch, to moderators or our viewers who have seen a lot of Title Tuesdays, was the number of the participants of the players we ever had. So like the longest participants. And I've just got a message that we had 605 participants. That's a lot. All right. Yeah, I wonder if we can ever get 1,000 titled player just playing here. I hope yes. All right. So what about this position? We do have Queen's Indian. Longest ever was like 1,100, so it was already there. That's crazy. That's crazy. I would not be surprised if that stopped the platform to work. That's a lot of players. That's amazing. All right, so what about this position? Seems like black is fine here. Black usually gives up the dark square bishop and then puts all the pawns on the dark square. For that reason, as the bishop is out, then we put the pieces on the dark square, and white has really good center. So now you might see all these moves that black will go around on the dark squares only. And I don't really expect here any crazy things happening here with breakthrough or so on. So now white has to figure out how to get more space advantage in the center. Maybe it can be something like f4, e5. Maybe first white will just develop another rook in the center and then try to push this one. Well, if white starts with a3 and b4 idea, then black stops it with a4. So this is not really tempting for white. So white goes with rook d1 just to have wow, I just get the notification that we had several times more than 1,000 participants at this event. That is really nice. That is really nice. Okay. So in this position, what black is thinking, Sergey Shigalko is thinking here. There are brothers actually, Sergey, and the brother is also grandmaster, maybe international master, and they used to be quite strong siblings. Now I have seen a lot of Sergey playing online chess. He seems to like to play online. So what white got here is open a file for black. There's a rook for black only. But in fact, white can always play queen here and the rook here and control a file faster than black can. So queen b2 looks quite nice move. It's attacking the g7 and preparing rook a8. White can also just ignore that rook a file and try to maneuver the knight a little bit. Maybe here. There is also those squares quite weak. White can try to get the knight on d5. Now what we see is just to get more space advantage on the king side and the center. So now knight comes on f1. I would be a little bit careful with f4 move because it opens the king. But here white's idea was just to control e5 square. Knight cannot really come back on e5. So there was here white's idea. Jeffrey has won this tournament, as I remember, at least one time, because I was doing commentary there. And he's really strong blitz player. So today he's doing quite well. So this, and this can be the ideas for white. Look at those pawns. Very nice. White has to keep as much pieces on the board as possible because white has a space advantage. And if you trade the pieces when you have space advantage, you're gonna have weaknesses. And for instance, now this pawn might be hanging. Knight e3 is not really possible because e4 pawn is hanging. c5 was played, and this allows whites to get the rook on. Here I do expect this move coming, and then f5. I do love that one. Let's see if black decides to sacrifice. 18 seconds, and we have it. We have it now. f5 looks the move, just to expose the king even more. This is hanging. Knight d2. Maybe just move the king away, and then knight e3 just to block everything on the king side. Let's see what white gonna play. According to the computer, according to the engine, this is better position for white. And Jeffrey seems to be really calm. For now, king g1 was played, and now queen b2, and white is just claiming that it's fine. I have very good position here. Maybe bishop d6 just to stop this pawn attack in here, and then knight e3 will block every attempt of black to attack on the king side. Queen e2, just offering the queen trade. And now knight e3. Knight d5 is a threat. Bishop was played on e5, and black is pushing. Black has compensation here because the bishop is very active, as you can see. And the pawn is... What's going on? Hold on. It's too much of the tactics. It's too much of the tactics, and they have seconds on the clock. So let's just see how it's gonna go. 1 second, the move was made by 1 second, on 1 second. Knight h3 now is a threat. I don't like that. Knight f3 is also a threat. White just captured the bishop and ignored that threat. And white won. Yeah, the time was a factor here. Let me go to the next game. What do we have here? Most of the games has been ended, and we have 2 queen end games. So this is the first queen end game, and here white gives checks, and this seems to be a drawish. Yeah, this seems to be a drawish. Now white has to be really careful not to blunder queen, and it's gonna be a draw. And another queen end game ended in white's favor because white has 3 extra pawns in queen end game, and that's a bit too much. We can now go somewhere else. Wow, I see a lot of Georgian players. Let me choose this one. Rook end game seems to be a drawish one. Here none of the side can really improve, and it ended in a draw. Another queen end game. Here seems like black has a very strong pawn on a2. Oh, queen e5. White was so greedy to capture the pawn. No, there was really upsetting here. White could just keep checking, and king has nowhere to hide. And there was queen e5. Just a blunder. Next game ended in black's favor. Let's go here. This seems still in progress. Knight and 2 extra pawns, already 1 extra pawn against bishop. This seems to be a drawish because black is really close to the pawns. I like this move. Now this takes is fine because king is active. King is really active, and this is really safe endgame. All right, 2 last games. Rook endgame. This cannot last forever. This cannot last forever. We have seen many games like this ended not in a draw. So they're gonna play a lot of moves. Yeah, the last game. Nepomniacci lost a game. He did. Okay. Yeah, the new games are about to start. Let me check if we have some updates at the standings. Now we do have 9 players only with 5 out of 5. And yeah, Jeffrey is one of those players, and also Indian lad, one of those players with 100% score. So we're gonna be focused on this one. So this is a green filed opening where white also goes with bishop on g file. I used to play this opening with white against green file. Seems like okay. Very symmetrical. On the move 14, they did not play the like opening when you just copy your opponent's moves, but it was just symmetrical structure, and we have this funny position now. When kids are starting to play chess, they sometimes just annoy the opponent to play just like the opponent, a very symmetrical position, and copy all the good moves. And this can be the source of some arguments in some classes. But the moment you realize that when your opponent copies your moves is not good and doesn't wins anything, then you are fine. Okay, this looks really nice. Alexander Bortnik against a national master. Let's focus on this one. Seems like white pushed g4 and black just captured that with a knight. And here we have the situation when none of the side castled, and white is trying to get more space advantage, and white is trying to attack the black's king. Now f7 pawn is hanging. So black might play bishop e6. No, bishop e6 is losing. Bishop e6 is losing because after taking, and knight on g4 will be hanging. So this is a real threat right now. Black just castles. Black just ignores that. I'm not sure with that. I would be really scared of that. Because after h3, knight is hanging. And yeah, okay, I understand now. Maybe black's idea is just to take on d4. If you take on g4, this closes the file and you're just fine. So after this, when knight moves away, you just have e5 square for the knight. Yeah, he's going for that. And this position seems okay for black, because for now there is no attack on the g file, there is no attack on the king side, and white's king is in the center. So now whatever happens, this is a bad move because queen g4. Yes, queen g4. And seems like no big issues here for black. It's just a matter of the technique. He's going to c5. I do love this move. He wants to play c4 and trap the bishop there, and if white plays any move here, the bishop will be still just locked on b3. Yeah, white had this resource, but anyway, black will try to get something on a5. Maybe rook a8, rook a2. Yeah, completely winning. Shall we move to the other game? Maybe we have some more excitements. Grishtuk, once again. In this position. So here we had, I think there was a Slav. It was a French defense with f pawn being pushed on f5. And we do have opposite color bishop, and seems like okay position. So far, none of the sides can attack the king. And if there is not a king side attack, then it's quite calm position. Oh wow, what's going on here? E5, and we can take a look at that really quickly. Something really bad happened here to black. And after E5, black just resigned, rook E5, and queen F6 wins a rook. All right, what's going on in here? Nepomniacci against the FIDE master. And black is trying to win something here on the queen side. Oh, maybe rook h6 was not the best move. Oh, the king is checkmated. The king is checkmated. No. there was a funny moves with king c5, king b4, and king c3. Just checkmate the opponent in a worst position. Okay, the next game, Parham. He's having really good position. Rook now can capture in here, but yeah, bishop d5 is something that black has to take into the consideration. Just black brings the knight back. And now this seems to be a winning position. Hikaru is still playing. Let's take a look at Hikaru's game. He's completely winning according to the engine. It's too much pieces for him, too much pawns, in fact. One extra pawn, it somehow looks so much, but it's just 2 pawns. And here we had a beautiful checkmate, queen g3. The pawn can't capture the queen because of the pin, and then queen g2. All right, back to this game. And yeah, black got a piece, so this is winning. And this is also winning. We might have here resignation soon. We have not seen exotic princes today. Maybe next round I will take a look at his game. What about this one? Oh, Zhikalko is losing. There was a resignation in winning position. Wow, I wish to check that game. There are few cases when you resign in winning position, but very few cases. Just the move that you can't see, and this happens not very often. Okay, this game has been ended. Only kings on the board. Black is winning here. Okay, queens on the board. this should be a draw. And less games in progress. Let me take this one. It's drawn. Another draw. I think all the games has been ended. Okay, this is in progress. Rook game seems drawish. Yeah, it's draw. But yeah, white is still very active. White will get closer to the rook. And then rook will come. No, this is not good. White wants to trade the rooks and win that endgame. Yeah, this endgame is winning. And e6 wins here. Beautiful. Why to resign when your opponent is thinking? Yeah, this is mysterious. Maybe he lost some time or he disconnected. Yeah, that's quite mysterious. Maybe he just mouse clicked. Yeah, it was the end of the round 6, and now I'm going to observe the game of Exotic Princess. And also update the results here. So we have two players. We have two players with 6 points. Maybe we can also take a look at them. So Santo Blue. This is the player that I will... oh, that's Sanal Waha from Turkey. We have seen a lot of games of Sanal at World Rapid Blitz. He's quite decent player from Turkey. And he's playing against Sigurov. So we have seen some of his game as well at World Championship, World Rapid Blitz Championship. So they will play this game together. Maybe we can take a look at Jobb's game later after this one. Jabba dancing between the games. Yes, he's very special. He's a very special player. And he enjoys whatever he does, and that's the most important. Guys think why they will repeat now the moves and they will agree on a draw? If they agree on a draw, we go to see Jabba's game. We cannot say Jabba's dance now, but now they are not. They are not. David Howell is also playing. Can you please tell me what's his name? I will just follow him and it can pop up. So here, Sigurov declined the draw. White was ready to make a draw here, but Sigurov said like, no, I want to win this game. So now what can be the white's idea here? Just, I think, to move the knight away and to push f-pawn and to start the king side attack. Quite unusual game for Blitz opening. It's very solid, not too much of threats. As you can see, they are making some small things, which creates a little bit advantage, or some not even advantage. Just some changes. And yeah, black player is very classy player. Like he can easily outplay anyone. But Sanal is very good at tactics, so I expect here to have some tactical situations too. G4, there we go. he's going for it. He just sensed that if he continued to play a calm game, then Sigurov will just outplay him because he's very classical player, and he's going with G4. And yeah, if you're good at tactics and calculation, and if you're sharp, why not to try moves like G4. Black is trying to trade the queens. Now white can stop this trade with D4 or just move away the queen, and he goes with queen F4. Howitzer. Okay. I'll take a look. Do we have Howitzer? among the leaders? I don't see for now. I don't see for now. Queen d8 back. Bishop h3. This gives big advantage to black. Why is that? Bishop g5, maybe because of bishop g5. Knight takes, queen comes on g5. And yeah, black has an advantage on the queen side for sure. Black can start to play some moves like this. g5, pawn g5. Wow, that's unexpected. I really didn't expect that move happen. Sanal was trying very popular Turkish tactic. There is Turkish tactic. I've never heard of Turkish tactic. What's Turkish tactic? Connected with G pawn probably. Oh, black captured a pawn. Black is really strong on the queen side. He's soft attack on the king side. White has to open up. White has to open up. I would play here something like h4, even though black can simply take it. He goes for it. Black can take this pawn here, and white can just ignore that and then try to push g5 next move. Rook goes away. Santa Blue is a Turkish player. It's now we're watching his game. It's Sonal Wahab. All right, bishop g5 is on the board. It's too many pieces for white on this. Look how many pieces are here. Just not really helping each other. So for this reason, you have to just open up the position. Now g5 pawn is hanging. So black goes for g4 pawn. Maybe king h3 to stop that happening. I'm guessing his moves really good, nicely. But yeah, maybe it's only moves. That's only I'm guessing it. But knight g5 now seems like a move, and white can also play something like this first. Wow, this rook lift is really nice. And if white don't capture g5 pawn, king will come on h6 as well, just like white's king. This pawn will be guarded, and then black will just push the pawn. So for this reason, white just captured the pawn on g5 and king h4. The king is very active, but unfortunately for white, the king is limited. So this is the leaders game. The one who wins here will become a sole leader right after the round 7. So this game is very important for both players, and black now is winning, has very big advantage. But the seconds on the clock, anything can happen. We have seen some horrible blunders and some upsets as well. But now it seems like bishop e2, rook e5 wins, and no, rook e5 is not winning because the bishop on a1. This bishop is not doing much, but it can still capture some pieces. Okay, so knight from a2 was played back on b5, and now black will just simply push all the pawns. Knight e4 to stop the bishop coming off on f6. White anyway went there. Oh, what's going on here? Bishop. Oh wow, bishop was sacrificed on f3, and black couldn't take that. And black instead found a really nice way to get out from these threats. Yeah, this is just winning 3 extra pawns. Very active pieces. And here we have a resignation, and we do have a sole leader. So Sigurov from Russia is now leading the event with a half point. Let me check if we have other games still in progress. We do have several games, and let's take a look at this one. Knight versus 2 pawns. King is cut. This should be winning for white. Yeah, and the pawns are just... Oh! No, that was a wrong pawn. No. That was a wrong pawn. So this ended in a draw. Wow, once in a while we might see some horrible blunders. It was completely winning, but we have seen it. We have seen a lot of blunders. This is black's position. Black is here in better situation. So just it matter of the it's just matter of the technique. It's a knight, which is not very fast piece, and it's a pawn on in the edge. So wow, I'm afraid that this position might repeats 3 times. This gives rook h4, rook h4, rook g3. Rook g3 was a draw there. Oh no, look at this, what happens here. So that was really interesting, and 100 moves was played here. So in this position, rook h4 and rook h3 is a draw in normal game, but in blitz with seconds on the clock, it might be still tricky. But here, instead of, yeah, in this position, you can still try rook here and just capture it, knight g4, and just take it. Could be a draw. All right. Do we have more games? We do have last game here. So rook versus knight and the pawn. This rook h8 wins. No, rook g8 wins. Beautiful. Rook g8 wins here. Because if you move your knight, then there is a check. And rook. Okay. That winning? I hope that was winning. Okay, let me check the standings now if we do have some interesting situation. So Sigurov, Jeffrey, Bogdan, Diach, and Schalt. Oh, hold on. Is this World Rapid Champion Sheldon? Let's follow his game. Naderbag. Is this Naderbag? You guys know everything, so I assume you know that too. Yeah, let's go here. So this is round 8, and things are getting really exciting. After this round, we do have a break, and also players have a break, so they will have some time to I don't know, get some drink or walk a little bit. It's quite tense tournament. It's Shamsidin Wahidov. Okay. From Uzbekistan. Seems like Uzbekistan team will be very strong soon with all these young grandmasters. They can be a real power one day. Grishchik plays against Eltouch Safarli, so maybe you can take a look at that. They have 5.5. They are not among the leaders. But this position seems very interesting. When white goes with knight b5, now queen d3, c3 knight is hanging. If black just pushes this knight, we might have knight c3. But instead, queen goes on a5, so there will be no knight c3. And if you play a4, this next move is a6. So white has to play a really smart move, and he goes with queen c4. The knight is under attack. And this might weaken just dark squares, so black goes with a6, and white keeps the pieces on the board. He wants to have all those pieces to attack maybe the king. Something like h4, h5 might happen up to h6. Or bishop a3 might happen to attack his e7 pawn. Seems like very nice position for white. The Howell's game is exciting. Right now or in the previous game? Let me check. Earlier, okay, I find it. Let me do this way. Here and here. And orange check. Okay. So this is so strange opening. What was the opening? Some sort of e4, e5 variation. g3 and h5. Wow. So I think black has really good position here. Black is just dominating the board. White's pieces are quite passive on the king side. The position itself is very dynamic here. When the king is castled on the queen side, black might try to push the pawns here, or try to play queen e6 to pin the knight. I like knight a4, looking for this bishop or this square. And on the other hand, black can also bring the rook on a file to target the f2. Yeah, very, very tempting position here. Bishop a6 to attack h3, just force the rook to go on h2. No, he ignores that and he goes rook g1. So this allows black to play rook f8 and then to capture this pawn, but he goes right away rook g8, also possible here. Maybe g4. It's just very comfortable position for black. Black first captures the dark square bishop. Now there is a two bishops for black, and this is also sort of advantage. I really feel bad for this one. So he wanted to play this and this, and the queen f6 just stops. Bishop coming on f3. So pawn f3 and poor bishop. This is... I feel bad for this bishop on h1. It does not have any future, even if after bishop g2, bishop f5, bishop e2, it's just... And then rook on h2 is also stacked. So basically this position for black is winning, as black can open up a file. a5 now seems to be very nice, and he goes with that. And now, oh yeah, just go for a3 pawn, yeah. Queen a1 will be met by rook a8. Rook will capture this pawn on a5, and this we might see here a resignation. Okay, Hikari is trying for perpetual. This game will end very soon. Maybe we can try to get a Hikari's game. What's going on? White is winning according to our engine. So is there bishop f6 next move? And the checkmate, queen e4 and the king. can go in here, so we can see that. Okay, here goes with queen g1. And it's extra piece, right? It's extra piece. Bishop b2 was played. Queen g5. No, the queens are off the board, and that's gonna be just simply winning for white. Now d4 pawn is hanging. Then b4 pawn is hanging as well. After king captures the pawn, we might see g6. So black just blocks that pawn coming forward. And now, yeah, white pawn can be pushed. Wow. And here we had a resignation because black cannot really stop. The pawn. All right, the next game, let's go in here. We have the bishop endgame. The same color bishop. Oh, wow, what's going on? Let's go. The things are changing so fast. Okay, this is still winning. This is still winning, but what a crazy game. What a crazy game. I have to take a look once again. All right, so this is winning. But how this is winning? Here. And this is not winning. Just king here and here. Oh yeah, king here and here. And just take it and then push both pawns. Just here, and push both pawns. This is winning. But with seconds on the clock, we don't judge. Let's take a look at that one. We have same color bishops on the clock, but on the board, but a pawns are just they're blocked in favor of black. So now white can capture this, and white is on time to get on c8. And this is a theoretical draw, and they know it for sure. They know it for sure. All right, this is gonna end in a draw. And it as black's victory. The next game was a draw. Two knights is also draw. We have seen this. White's checkmated too. Okay, I think that's the end. Yeah, this seems to be the end of the round 8. Before we go to the break, I'll just update here. We do have 3 players sharing first, third places. All right, break for me, break for players. Please don't go anywhere because the break is not so long. And we're gonna say the last rounds, and we're gonna know the champion of the first title Tuesday in 2022. So coming back in few minutes. Okay, the games are starting right now, has already started in fact, and we do have the first game after the break. This is Jeffrey and oh god, I always failed with the name of the Ukrainian player, but I read out in the chat and I was like, all right, that's him, but he's not making a move. Oh, they made a lot of moves. I just updated now. I just updated now. Okay. Say KC with black here, Ukrainian Grandmaster, now is having 7.5. So we do have 3 players sharing first, third places, and we also have Bogdan Diac from Romania, one of the leaders. And on the board, we do have this very typical pawn sacrifice in Queen's Gambit. Also in Ragozin variation, I think this is Ragozin variation with the bishop g5, when white simply sacrifice or accidentally blunders c3 pawn, but gets really good counterplay on the king side and also in the center. Right now h7 is hanging, and if black pushes h6, this pawn would be just captured, but black pushed g6, and as you can see, the dark square bishop is already gone, and this bishop will be a superior on the king side. Queen will go somewhere, and at some point white can start h-file pawn march, or can also push the pawn on e4. So why white sacrificed this c3 pawn? Because of the better development and the advantage of pair of bishop. So now black tried to just develop the queen side pieces. Another pawn here is hanging, but I would be really afraid to take that one because it's just too much, and this king now is in really hard situation. h5 is the move that I would consider here if I were white. Just to make more weaknesses on that side. What else can white do here? Just move away with the queen and then push e5, and then just try to sacrifice here. But yeah, h5 seems the most decent one, white is thinking. Let's see, queen g3 was played. So still h5 is on the board, still e5 is on the board. E takes d5 can be a move. This happens with all the tempo. The bishop will be hanging, and then bishop g6 will be a serious threat. Here I would be afraid of, if I were black, of that threat. So for instance, to take here, take, then take the bishop, rook takes, and take this pawn. And then this one, and then this one. So this is too much of arrows. But yeah, this position has a tactical character, and something really bad might happen. So black just decided to capture e4 pawn. Now white can capture it with the bishop or with their rook, and queen h5. Really nice, move here from black. This d takes c4 just to open up the queen to come on h-file. The bishop is hanging on h6, and white seems to be forced to move away the bishop, although it's not really in a hurry to make a move. So bishop d2, even though this bar says it's okay position for black, it's very hard to play against pair of bishop with a weak king. A rook takes might be, yes, I think there was something that might be better, but bishop takes e4 was the most natural move. So here we have this position. There is a check on the back rank, but this might not give too much. White can still try and just check what black's respond. I would play bishop h6 here to create the back rank checkmates in many ways. Queen b8, queen rook e8. and just to force black to go with the queen on the back ring. So rook e8 was played instead, and now queen b8. So white is pushing on the back rank, and this happens when those pawns are just pushed too much. Here black wishes to have f7, g7, h6 pawn structure rather than to have f6 and g6. This pawn structure simply weakens the king. All right, now what happens if black goes with queen f7? This happens. White will just capture a7 pawn, knight is hanging, and then b7 pawn will hang, and white will have an extra pawn on a file, and it's going to be a very hard position to hold. Queen and the bishop versus knight and the bishop. Queen and the bishop would be not so fast. Bishop e3 now makes sense. Bishop h6 is always there, a serious threat. Bishop h6 creates a checkmate threat. This should be really good. Yeah, but he's not going for that. I'm so surprised why engine is so quiet after bishop h6. Probably black has some knight d7 was the move there, probably. So here we have this position. There is a check, and white will just get c4 pawn. But yeah, in that case, if white gets c4 pawn, then knight will take the bishop, and that's gonna end in a lot of draw checks and then draw. Oh, bishop c5 now? No. Okay, I thought it was a blunder. I thought it was a queen blunder, but not now. Not now. Yeah, this seems to be drawish. This seems to be drawish. Black is now quite strong with the passed pawn. f5. I do love this move. This stops king to come on e4, and now king gets really close to a pawn and control that. And white has to trade the pawns on the queen side, otherwise white will have very bad position. So c3, king d3 seems okay. Now c3, and now king takes, and king. Wow, this is interesting. King b4, king d4. So this did not happen. Okay, interesting. These guys are very classy. Okay. And the bar dropped all the way down, and now it just went all the way up. Why king f4? King black could win f2 pawn. This is a draw. This is a draw. Wow, this game was really really double-edged. It was winning for black at some point. Let me really quickly show. I think king here was no. Maybe this one? Okay, f4. Beautiful. f4, you're winning in tempo. This is a difference. If you get this one here, king comes and gets to your position. That happened in the game. If this happens, it's the same. And this is not so good. But there are some smart moves in chess, and f4 is one of those. And now you're getting it. See? Now this is winning position. Very hard to spot in the time pressure, of course. But there was a chance. All right, let's take a look at the other game. We do have some games from the previous round for some reason. And okay, this is Sigurov, one of the leaders. He won another game with white pieces. And there was the end of round 9. So let's take a look what happened in our standings. Zhu 96 represents Russia, has now 8 points out of 9, but there are a lot of players with that score. So Jeffrey, that's the game between these two players. And we also have Kaisi and Howell, Sigurov, and Misha Nick. So, and Grishik is very close to catch up the leaders. I also see Grandalius very close to the leaders with 7 points. So this is the position we have. All right, so this is Caro-Kann defense, bishop f5. Oh, this is very tricky line here that I myself fold twice at least. So here black goes with bishop d7, which looks very passive, and then e6, and I was like, why not bishop g6? So if you also have that question, it's because of e6, and after this line, black is simply losing. You go h6 or h5, doesn't really matter. It is just very, very wrong position with this bishop here and this pawn structure and the king. So this did not happen in our game, in the game which is going on now on the screen. So this is still a theory. H5 to get f5 square, and we have few more moves. Right. Seems quite okay position for black, even though the engine likes just a little bit here white's position, because engine is very very materialistic, I can say. There is an extra pawn for white, and engine likes that. We have not seen Napa for last few rounds, but I just spotted him. He's playing against Sergei Zhigalko, quite tough opponent. So here in this position, queen e2, black will try to attack the king on the queen side. Wait, okay, this tactic is not working here. Knight takes queen b4, then check, because knight is just on the way to cover the king. There's c4 move to win the knight. Maybe that's something that black can consider to play, or simply to push b5. I like b5 here. Support the knight. You sacrifice another pawn. Maybe engine will not like that. But this pawn can be recaptured right back after rook c8. So b5 looks quite tempting for me. Black can also take this bishop and then take this pawn and then develop the... Oh, he goes for it. Wow, that's nice. And then c4. Okay. c4. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the suggestion. I just suggested, but I'm not sure that that's so accurate here. But let's see. Black can get anytime any of this knight back. The king can't really go back because this knight is hanging. So here what black is thinking is maybe he will not capture right away, but to push the pawn. So bishop d2 forces black to make a decision. Maybe first check here and then to take here, or you can right away take this knight and then take this pawn. But no, he goes with a5. I like this move. I really like this move. So in fact, if knight goes on d5, then queen e3 is the intermediate check, and then this pawn will be knight will be captured. Knight can go on b1 to avoid that check. Maybe this is something that white should play now. a3. Oh, this doesn't look good. Queen. This doesn't look good. Queen a3 now. Queen a3, thread the checkmate and then capture the knight. That should be an extra... It's a checkmate! No, it's not a checkmate. It's not a checkmate. I thought this bishop was here. I thought this bishop was here. Why this is so bad then? Wow. We need to take a look. Maybe this is the reason, and this is lost position. All right, this might be a lost position. b2, do you think there was a b2 move? Yeah. Wow, queen a3 was not the good suggestion. And now I think Jeffrey realizes that his position is not so good. You know why? Because f5, I do like this move. f5, if you take with the knight, then king doesn't have a escape square. If you take with the king, then the rook will come with a check. This is one option. Another option is just to give a check from here or from b6, also possible. And when king goes on e7, that's quite must. You just drop the queen? No, it's not dropped. Not dropped. You can take this here. So after rook e7, you take the pawn, the rook is hanging, and then you will lose to bishop b4. So for this reason, black just decided to sacrifice here piece and to play this position. This position is quite hard to play for black. Yeah. Your king is the most active piece in the middle game. You are in a big problem. That's right. That's right. That is right. So far, black is still in the game, and we have seen a lot of upsets today and a lot of blunders. G6 seems to be a move, but he goes with knight d4. I'm not quite sure about that move. Maybe bishop c3 now. Rook c1. Okay, white is increasing the advantage. Rook c7 now, check. And maybe just capture f7 pawn. White lost on time. Wow, white lost on time. Why? This is like just make any move here. Bishop b4. No, bishop b4 in fact loses a game. But rook f7 here. Any move. Rook anywhere. Wow, that's quite shocking. Let's quickly go to the other game. Yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Let me check who else is the leader here. Howell. Let's go if we have the game of Howell. Wow, this game was shocking. This game was shocking. Okay, this is winning. And the game has ended. This is still happening. So this seems to be black to be a queen. Soon, yeah, black will be. All right, so this game has been ended. Very quickly, let's take a look. I'm still recovering from what happened. What we have witnessed in the previous round. I would not imagine that this result can happen, but yeah. I told you guys, this is when the game is still on, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So this game ended as well, this game, and yeah, here we have a draw. You keep the king just in front of the pawn, and that's a draw. You don't move the kings on the side. You just keep the king on the in front of the pawn, and it's gonna be a draw. Wow, what a lucky game for Jeffrey. He's one of the leaders right now, together with Hovel and Michalnik. So those three players gonna play for the top 3 places, and the other players also have a really good chance to catch them up. But this is gonna be the game we will be focused on. And here we have David Hovel with white pieces, and he goes with e4. Jeffrey goes with e5, and here we don't have any more king gambit, but we have Scottish game. Who thinks here that these guys will agree on a draw, or they will play it and they will fight? Someone here thinks that they will offer a draw, any side, or well, if they make a draw, then Mashanik has a good chance to catch them up. So it's not quite safe. They will fight. Okay. No draw. No draw. They will fight. All right. All right. Sarana is Machanik. Okay, good to know. Alexei Sarana is very, very strong online player. We don't play this opening for a quick draw. Okay, King f1 was played here. Black is going for a queen trade. Let's see if white decides to trade the queens or keep the queen on the board and then push g3, king g2, and try to develop the king on this side, then push the pawn a little bit forward. You can always kick the knight back and then develop the bishop. So he kept the queen. All right, what happens after h6? Maybe g6 and then knight f4. Bishop d2. Now a knight f4 makes sense. But maybe white will be happy to trade the bishop for the knight. Let's see, black wants to get more space advantage, just weaken the queen side. If b3, then the bishop will come here. So yeah, I agree with that. This is quite sharp position. They will not agree on a draw. They might end the game in a draw, but this is winning for white. Can somebody tell me why it's so bad for black? The queen will be trapped, that's why. Queen is trapped. Wow, look at this. Look at this once again. Queen here was simply trapped. Yeah, I don't really expect this queen to be trapped so fast, and seems like Howell has really good chance to share at least first place, and he might also have very good tie breaks. We will see that. Queen is trapped. Queen was trapped unexpected in the center. All right, but yeah, black is still trying. We have seen some games, and all of us are also online players, and we sometimes miss wins. So let's still focus on this game. Another game, maybe it's good to see how Sarana is doing. So very quickly, I will just take a look what happened in his game. For this, I need to follow him. Wow, the games are ending really fast. You guys, this is the last round. This is the last round. The winner from this match will be very likely a champion. There is also another player, third player, who is also trying and fighting for the first place. Okay. Yeah, I don't see here something crazy might happen for black. To Rook and Queen d5, Queen d7, beautiful move by David Howell, just to take this pawn. And now these pawns are like, if you have those pawns and your Rook guards those pawns, there is still a hope. But after Queen d7, seems like black is losing a game. So here we had a resignation. Oh, this is a game we're gonna focus. This is a game we're gonna focus. I doubt this is Serrano. I don't think that's Serrano. Or maybe he's okay. Anyway, he's playing against Hikaru Nakamura. Hikaru has 8 points, and Serrano has 9 points. We'll see what happens. Anything might be changed in the last moment. All right, so is there a chance that black can win in this position? I doubt that black can win this position because white has an extra pawn and a lot of time advantage. So yes. And yeah, white has here very good chances to play for a win. Even though now maybe those chances just reduce because there are like few pawns on the board, but we might see some king going to the all this way up here. We might see that. Rook b1 should become, just to close that, and now king b5 will be white's next move. So black just decided to trade the pawns, and then all right, he's going for this. He's going for this to push the pawn. Okay, that's a very smart decision. Now f4, f3, and f4, f2 can be played by black. All right, what's happening in here? Seems like the equal position according to the engine. The engine is just in the middle. There are like no too much pieces, and black's king is so active. Black's king is so active. White's pawn on the queen side is just blocked by the bishop, and this pawn is now gone. White is trying his best. C5 here you have, and bishop e7 should be played, and then white should now accept the draw. Yeah, just without the bishop, a dark square, the black's bishop, this position cannot be winning for black. Yeah, black can try, but bishop takes now, or just in this way, it's just a draw. Wow, that's very interesting. We're gonna know very soon the top players. Let me check if we have some other game in progress. Here, black has an extra queen. Knight is very tricky piece. Knight can get, and black just plays this queen so far. I would play even farther on h2. Yeah, this is completely winning position. Anton Donchenko with white pieces and Rasmus Van with black pieces. Let me very quickly take a look if we have something in progress. We do have 2 games. So Rook endgame. White has an extra pawn, but those pawns are doubled. And this seems to be drawish endgame, but anything can happen. And the other game just ended and white checkmated. So this is gonna be the last game for today. White will try to activate the king, but black just captured the pawn. G3 pawn is also hanging. So yeah, draw seems to be a logical result here. Okay. After this game, we're gonna have final standings. So David Howell seems to be the one winning the tournament. Let me update the standings. He has 10 out of 11. The question is, he made 2 draws or he lost 1 game. But this is incredible anyway. This is incredible result. If he won 10 games and lost one, amazing. If he won 9 games and made 2 draws, still amazing. Oh wow. And we didn't see this coming, right? We didn't see this coming here. Black is winning. How exactly Black is winning? Rook h4. Rook h4, king g4. Rook h4, king g4. King h4 now. And yeah, white is losing position. So bad. Wow, this is something that you don't really expect to happen. And yeah, it's so hard here to resign with white, and he's still playing. And here we have the final results. So David Hovell with 10 out of 11 got the first place in the gold medal and the first prize. And then we have Serena with 9.5 points out of 11, also amazing performance. And then we have international master from India, V Pranav, got the next place. I've not seen his game. We haven't seen his game at this event, unfortunately, but he seems to be quite decent player with 2900 rating. And then we have Santa Blue, this is Turkish Grandmaster, and then Jeffrey, and so on and so on. You guys can take a look at the top standings. We do have Exotic Princess, maybe he gets the top streamer prize. He scored 9 out of 11. That's not so bad. And yeah, that's it. That's the end of the Title Tuesday, very first Title Tuesday on this year 2022. So we're gonna have tons of Title Tuesday every Tuesday. This tournament is gonna happen. So please join us every Tuesday. And thank you so much for being here on Twitch channel and also on YouTube channel. My name is Keti, and I stream on my own channel. Here you can see, over here you can see my channel. So I stream almost every day if I'm not playing chess over the board. So thank you so much for being with me, for being so helpful and suggesting me the games to check it out. And I hope that you enjoyed too, and I hope that you see a lot of beautiful games. And I think that's the final goodbye for me for now, and we're gonna see each other very soon. And you can also always come and hang out with me on my channel. In fact, we're going to have an after party right after this. So see you very soon. Thank you so much, and bye for now. See you very soon.